Hello friends, myself Kadu, and in the previous lecture we have studied the bank and the simple interest. Means what is the definition of the bank, the various accounts in the bank, and we have to know that the bank provides certain interest on the amount. Then we have solved the problems on the simple interest. Okay, now we are going to solve the practice set on the page number 73. Okay, now today we are going to solve the practice set 40 on the page number 73. Okay, so what is our first problem then? That is the Rihanna. First problem is that the Rihanna deposits 1500 rupees in school fund at 9% per annum. Okay, at 9% per annum for the time period of 2 years. Okay, for the 2 years. Now, what is the total amount she will get? Okay, what is the total amount she will get after how many years? That is obviously after the 2 years. Okay, so what is our problem that the Rihanna deposits the 1500 rupees in a school fund at the 9% per annum for the 2 years. Okay, and we have to find out the total amount she will get after the 2 years. Okay, now first of all write the quantities which have been given in the problem. That's the deposit. The initially she deposited the 1500 rupees. Okay, that's why this is nothing but the principal. That is the 1500 rupees. Okay, for the time period of the 2 years. So N is nothing but the N or the T is nothing but the 2 years. Okay, it is the 2 years. Okay, now what is the R? That's the rate of interest is nothing but the 9% per annum. Okay, the rate of interest is nothing but the 9% per annum. We have to find out the total amount. So we have to first of all find out the interest. Okay, total amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. So we have to find out the first of all we have to find out the interest. So we will go by our standard formula. So interest is nothing but the PNR upon 100. This is the formula for the simple interest. Okay, this is the formula for the simple interest. Why this is the word that is simple is here? Because the interest may be calculated by the compound. Okay, this is the interest is also is of the two types, that is simple interest and the compound interest. That's why the simple word is given in that is before the interest. That is we are going to see only the simple interest in this 7th standard. Okay, in the next standard you should have to find out the compound interest also. Okay, but now you have to find out only the simple interest. Okay, so comes to the problem. So here you have to find out the total amount. Okay, for that you have to find out the interest. So formula for the interest is nothing but the PNR upon 100. What is the P? P is nothing but the principal, which is there is a 1500 rupees. N is nothing but the time interval, which is the 2. And when the rate of interest is nothing but the 9 divided by the 100. That is 0 get cancelled. That is a 15 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 9. Okay, so 15 multiplied it is equal to 13 multiplied by 9 is nothing but the 270 rupees. Okay, so interest is nothing but the 270 rupees after the end of the 2 years. So what is the total amount? Then total amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. Now what is our principal? Principal is nothing but the 1500 rupees plus 270 rupees. Okay, so total is nothing but the 1770 rupees. Okay, 1770 rupees. She will get the 1770 rupees after the end of the 2 years. So this is nothing but our the first problem on the problem set 14. So this is our first problem on the practice set. Okay. Now what is the second problem then? That is the Jethalal. Okay. The Jethalal took housing loan. Okay. Took a housing loan of 2,50,000 rupees. Okay. How much? The 2,50,000 rupees from a bank. Obviously that's from a bank. What is the definition of the bank? Bank is nothing but the government institution at which the transaction of the money takes place. Okay, so from the bank at 10% per annum, 10% per annum for 5 years. For the 5 time interval is nothing but the 5 years. What is yearly interest? What what is the yearly interest he must pay. Okay, what is the yearly interest he must pay and the total amount he returned to the bank. Total amount. Okay, total amount. So what is our problem then? That's a Jethalal took a house loan from a certain bank. Okay, how much? That's a 2,15,000 rupees. Okay, 2,50,000 rupees. Sorry, 2,50,000 rupees from a certain bank. What is the rate of interest then? At a 10% per annum for the 5 years. Okay, what we have to find out? We have to find out the yearly interest he must pay and the total amount after the 5 years he must return to the bank. Okay, now first of all write down the given data in the problem. That's P. P is nothing but the basic amount which have taken by the Jethalal is nothing but the 2,50,000 rupees. Okay, 2,50,000 rupees. For how much interval of the time? Means what is the time period? Time period means is nothing but the 5 years. Okay, time period is nothing but the 5 years. And what is the rate of interest? The rate of interest is nothing but the 10% per annum. Rate of interest is nothing but the 10% per annum. We have to find out the interest per year. Okay, we have to find out the interest per year and we have to find out the total amount. Okay, we have to find out the total amount after the 5 years. Okay, so what is our standard formula to find out the simple interest? That's interest is nothing but the PNR upon 100. Okay, this is our formula. So we have to find out the interest. Here asked in the problem we have asked the yearly interest. Okay, so we have to find out the interest for the single year. Okay, so principal is nothing but the 2,50,000 multiplied by. So what we should take at the place of the year? So just remember that we have asked the yearly interest, so we have to find out the interest for the single year. So we should take the n as a 1 and rate of interest is nothing but the 10% per annum divided by 100. 0 0 get cancelled. That is the 2500 get multiplied by 10. That is the 2500 means the 25,000 rupees. Okay, so he will get or he have to pay the 25,000 rupees as interest yearly. Okay, 25,000 rupees interest as yearly. Also, we can solve this by our previous method, that is a 10 rupees. Okay, 10 rupees for the 100 rupees for the 1 year. Okay, 10 rupees for the 100 rupees for the 1 rupees. Then how many rupees for the 2,50,000 rupees for the 1 year? Okay, we have seen this. We have solved by in this method in this way. Okay, so x is nothing but the 2,15,000 multiplied by 10 divided by 100. Okay, so is nothing but 25,000. Okay, in this way also we can find out simply we can find out the interest for the 1 year. Okay, so by both the method we get the interest of the 25,000 rupees for the 1 year. Okay, but he took the loan for the 5 years, so we can multiply this interest by the 5. Okay, means 25,000 multiplied by 5 is nothing but the 1,25,000. Okay, so the total interest Jethalal should pay to the bank for the 5 years is nothing but the 1,25,000. So 25,000 is the answer of our first question, that is the yearly interest. Okay, now what is our second question? We have to find out the total amount. Okay, total amount. So amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. Okay, principal plus interest. Now what is the principal? Principal is the 2,50,000. Okay, 2,50,000. Now what is the interest there? That is a 1,25,000. Okay, 1,25,000. So what is the total? That's the 250 plus that's the 1, that's the 350 and 375. Okay, so total is nothing but the 375. That's the 3,75,000 rupees. That's the total amount that Jethalal should return to the bank after the 5 years. Okay, so we have find out that the interest per year. Okay, that's the 25,000 rupees and total amount after the 5 years. That's the we have multiplied by the simple. That's the 1 year interest by the 5, so that we can get the interest for the 5 years. Then we can simply add this interest to the principal and we get the total amount after the 5 years that Jethalal should return to the bank. Okay, we solve this problem by the both the methods. Okay, that's the first one is our standard formula method and second is our basic method. So you should know that what is the basic. By the basic method you should know that what is the method behind that formula. Okay, so we can solve the problem by the both the methods. Now we should go to the third problem. That is, Shrikant deposited Shrikant deposited 85,000 rupees for 2.5 years, means for the 2.5 years, okay, at the rate of 7% per annum, okay, in a saving bank. In a saving bank, what is the total interest he received at the end of the period? Means we have to find out the total interest here, okay, we have to find out the total interest. So whenever the total interest is asked, then our problem gets very easy, okay, because we have the formula, we have direct formula to find out the total interest, okay. So first of all, let's write down the given information. That is, Shrikant deposited 85,000 rupees, means principal is nothing but the 85,000 rupees. That's the basic amount is nothing but the principal 85,000 rupees for the 2.5 years, means T, that's the N, S means nothing but the 2.5 years, okay, 2.5 years, okay. Now what is the R? R is nothing but the 7% per annum, okay, 7% per annum. What we have asked? We have asked the interest, that's the total interest. By we have the standard formula, that's the interest is nothing but the PNR upon 100, okay. What's the principal? That's the 85,000 rupees multiplied by N. N is nothing but the, that's R. R is equal to 7, and N is nothing but the, for how many years? That's 2.5, okay, 2.5 years divided by 100, okay. 0 will cancel, that's the 850 multiplied by 7 multiplied by, we can write it as 2 multiplied, that's the 2.5, we can write this as a 5 by 2, okay, we can write this as a 5 by 2, okay. So 7 zeros are 0, 7 5s are 31, that's a 5, that's a 3, 56 and 50, 59, okay, divided by 2 multiplied by 5, okay, that's a 5 and 5 multiplied by, that is a 2, so 5 5s are 25, that's a 5, that is 3, that's a 4, that is interest is nothing but the 14,875 rupees is nothing but the interest on the 85,000 rupees at the end of the 2.5 years, okay. So after calculating this, what value we get? That's the 14,875 rupees is nothing but the interest that the Shrikant have to get from the bank after the 2.5 years at a what rate? That's the 7% per annum. That's 14,875, okay. Now let's move to the fourth problem. That is, at a certain rate of interest, means here the rate of interest is not given, at a certain rate of interest after the 4 years, at a certain rate of interest after the 4 years on 5,000 rupees, okay. The 5,000 rupees principal, means this 5,000 rupees is given as the principal, is 1,200 rupees, okay. At a certain rate of interest after the 4 years on the 5,000 rupees principal is a 1,200 rupees, okay. At a certain rate of interest, the interest, okay, sorry, the interest, okay, the interest is given at a certain rate, of interest, the interest after the 4 years on the 5,000 rupees principal is at 1,200 rupees, okay. Now what will be the interest on the 15,000 rupees at the same rate of the interest for the same period, okay. Now at the second, we have to find out the, that's the rate of interest and we have to find out the interest for same rate of interest and period. Okay, so first of all, understand the problem. Okay, now what we have given? We have given the two parts of the problem. In the first problem, we have given that at a certain rate of interest, the interest after the 4 years on the 5,000 rupees principal is 1200 rupees. Okay, for example, in the first of problem, we have to find out the rate of interest. Okay, when we find out the rate of interest, then we get the rate of interest. Okay, in the second problem or the second part of the problem, we have asked that we have to find out the simple interest on the 15,000 rupees. And what is the rate of interest? The rate of interest will be the same as we get in the first part of the problem, and the time period is also get same. Okay, so for solving this two part problem, we have to find out the rate of interest of the first problem. That is the first part. Okay, and the first part what we have given the principal, that is at a 5,000 rupees principal. Okay, the principal is nothing but the 5,000 rupees. Now what is the time period? Time period is nothing but the 4 year. Okay, time period is nothing but the 4 year. And what we have to find out? We have to find out the rate of interest, means R. And what is the 1200 rupees? 1200 rupees is nothing but the interest. Okay, so by the standard formula we can solve that the interest is equal to the PNR upon 100. Okay, PNR upon 100. What we have given? That we have given the interest. Okay, up to this problem we just have to find out the interest, but in this problem we have to find out the rate of interest. Okay, the interest is given in this problem. The interest is equal to 1200 rupees. So what is the principal? Principal is the 5,000 rupees multiplied by n is nothing but the 4. And what is the rate of interest? We have to find out the rate of interest multiplied by 100. Okay, so what is the rate of interest? The rate of interest is nothing but 1200 rupees multiplied by 100 divided by 5,000 multiplied by 4. Okay, on solving this, that's a 120 divided by 5 multiplied by 4, that's a 120 divided by 20. So 120 divided by 20 is nothing but a 6. Okay, so what we get? We get R is equal to 6. Now what is this 6? 6 is nothing but the rate of interest. So 6 is nothing but the PCPA, means the percent per annum. R is nothing but the rate, that's the 6%, that's the percent per annum. Okay, we get the 6. Okay, now in the second problem we have asked the interest. Okay, we have to find out the simple interest on what principal? That the principal is the 15,000 rupees. So simple interest is nothing but the on the 15,000 rupees. For what period? The same rate of interest and the same period. Here the period is 4 years. Okay, 4 multiplied by the same rate of interest. Here we get the rate of interest, that's a 6. Okay, and divided by the 100. Here 0 get cancelled. That's a 150 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 6. Okay, so 4 0 is 0, 20, 600 multiplied by 6. That's a 3600 interest. Okay, so the interest on the 15,000 rupees is nothing but the 3,600 rupees, means 3600. That is 3,600 rupees is nothing but the rate of interest. 3,600 rupees is nothing but the interest that the person get on the 15,000 rupees. Okay, so this is the answer of the two part of this problem. That's problem 4 on this practice set is in the two part. That's in the first part you have to find out the rate of interest, that is nothing but the 6%. We find out the rate of interest, that is 6%. Okay, and in the second part we have to find out the simple interest by having the same rate of interest and the period. Here we have the period 4 years, but to find out the simple interest we have to find out the rate of interest which is in the first part, that is the 6%. Okay, so this is nothing but the 3,600 rupees, that is 3,600 rupees. Okay, so when we look at this problem, that is on the 5,000 rupees. Okay, so on the 5,000 rupees we can simply find out that on the 5,000 rupees how much interest he get. On the 5,000 rupees he gets the 1,200 rupees. 5,000 rupees he get the 1,200, means the 1,200 rupees. What? 1,200 rupees, that's the simple interest. And what is the on the we have asked the on the, that's the 15,000 rupees. Okay, that we have asked it on the 15,000 rupees. Okay, so this 15,000 rupees is nothing but the thrice the 500 rupees, 5,000 rupees. Okay, means when the 5,000 get multiplied by the 3, then we get the 15,000 rupees. Okay, so when the interest rate of when the interest is given on the 5,000 rupees is 1200 rupees. Okay, so when the principal is multiplied by the 3, means when the principal is increased up to the 15,000 means multiplied by 3, then simply our the same simple interest also get multiplied by the 3. That's a 1200 multiplied by the 3. That's a nothing but the 3,600 rupees. Okay, by applying the simple logic, we can also find out the simple interest on the 15,000 rupees. Okay, so this is the simple logic behind this problem. What is the simple logic then? That is this bank provides the 1200 rupees on the 5,000 rupees. Okay, that's the 1200 rupees on the 5,000 rupees. That's the 1200 rupees on what? That's the 5,000 rupees. And what we have as? We have as on the 15,000 rupees. Okay, so 15,000 is nothing but the thrice the 5x. Okay, we can see here that the 15,000 rupees is nothing but the thrice the 5,000 rupees. Okay, so also the simple interest also get thrice, means if the person gets the 1200 rupees on the 5,000 rupees, then if he increases his deposition by the thrice, means if he increases his deposition up to the 15,000 rupees, then also the simple interest he get also gets multiplied by the 3. Okay, so how much he will get? He will get the 3,600 rupees. Okay, so this is nothing but the simple logic behind this problem. So what is our the last problem? That is, if a Pankaj deposits if the Pankaj deposits 1,50,000 rupees in bank at 10% per annum for 2 years, what is the total amount he get after 2 years from bank? What is the total amount he will get after the 2 years from the bank? Okay, this is also the simple problem. We just have to find out the total amount. What is the total amount? The total amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. Okay, total amount plus is nothing but the principal plus interest. Here we have to find out the amount. Okay, so here the principal is given. We just have to find out the interest by using our simple formula. Okay, so what is the principal here? Principal is nothing but the 1,50,000 rupees. 1,50,000 rupees is nothing but the principal. What is the n? N is nothing but the time interval. For how much time interval? That is 2 years. How much time of period? The period of time is 2 years. Okay. Now what is the rate of interest? Rate of interest is nothing but 10% per annum. Okay. Rate of interest is nothing but 10% per annum. We just find out the amount. Amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. So we first of all we have to find out the interest. Okay, so what is the interest? Interest is nothing but the PNR upon 100. This is the standard formula. That's the PNR upon 100. So what is the principal? Principal is nothing but the 1,50,000 multiplied by n is nothing but the 2. What is the rate of interest? Rate of interest is nothing but the 10 divided by 100. 0 will cancel. That's a 1,500 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10. That is a 1,500 multiplied by 2. That is a 3,000. Okay, means the 30,000 rupees. Okay, the interest is nothing but the 30,000 rupees. Now what is the total amount? Total amount nothing but the principal plus interest. What is the principal? The 1,50,000 plus interest, that is the 30,000. The total is nothing but the 1,80,000. So the Pankaj will get 1,80,000 rupees return from the bank after the 2 years. That is 1,80,000 rupees is nothing but the total amount. Okay, how much interest he get? He get the 30,000 rupees interest from the bank. Okay, for the time interval of the 2 years. Okay, so this is nothing but the problems on the simple interest. This all problems are depends on the one simple formula, that is a PNR upon 100. That is the interest. Okay, whenever the amount is asked, we just have to plus or add this interest to the principal. We get the total amount. Okay, in a certain problem the total amount is asked, then we have to find out the interest and get add to the principal. Okay, in a certain problem the interest is given and we have to find out the rate of interest. Okay, the interest is given, simple interest is given, and you have to find out the rate of interest. And in some problems also they should ask you the time interval or the period of the time for which the one person deposited the amount to the bank. Okay, on certain amount, on a certain problem, they should ask you the principal, means the rate of interest should be given, the rate of interest should be given, the simple interest should be given, and the time period is also given, and they should ask you the to find out the principal. Okay, so out of this 4 quantity, they will give only any 3 quantities, then should ask the 4th quantity. So whatever they ask, just apply this basic problem that the PNR, that I is nothing but the PNR upon 100, and what is amount is nothing but the principal plus interest. So we have to complete at the bank, and all the problems on the simple interest, that's the question set is equal to 40 we have completed here.